Hi everyone, welcome to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast, your daily audio summary of the latest news reported in the Ukrainian media. My name is Artem, and here is the news. 1049 days less the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Ukraine Defense Contact Group, also known as Rammstein format, will gather for a first meeting in 2025 on 9th of January, reports Ukrainska Pravda. At this 25th meeting of the group, US Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin will engage with defense ministers and senior military officials from around the world to discuss Ukraine's immediate battlefield needs, longer-term defense requirements, and the important coordination being conducted through the capability coalitions. In addition, two senior US defense officials reported that coalition leaders will gather during the meeting to define Ukraine's defense capabilities and establish reliable defense forces by 2027. Responding to a question about concerns regarding the future of the Rammstein format if US support for the group decreases following the inauguration of the new administration on 20th of January, officials emphasized that the multilateral nature of the group and its coalition would help strengthen its resilience in the future. Associated Press, citing two US officials, informs that the outgoing administration of US President Joe Biden plans to announce its final military aid package for Ukraine on 9th of January. The AP sources did not specify the package's exact value but indicated it would be significant. However, it seems unlikely that the remaining $4 billion in funding authorized by Congress to the White House for Ukraine will be exhausted. Officials stated that more than $2 billion will likely be left for Donald Trump's future administration to manage. Khortytsia group of forces informed that Russian troops are trying to destroy the buildings of Kurakhove in Donetsk Oblast, while the Ukraine's defense forces are holding the western part of the town, reports Suspilne. Spokesperson of the command, Major Viktor Trigubov, said that the Russians plan to destroy the city so that there is no place to keep the defense. Quote, "Any house is a fortification, but it is impossible to hold defense there if there are no houses. Just scorched earth," unquote, explained the major. The situation in Kurakhove is quite difficult at the moment, as a large part of the town has been destroyed. Ukrainian troops are holding the western part of the city on its western outskirts. They also control the power plant located in the town. At the same time, Ukrainian troops continue to destroy Russian manpower and equipment, inflicting losses and repelling Russian assaults. We would really appreciate if you could recommend us to your friends and family, as well as share information on social media. This way more people would learn about the podcast and truth about Russia's invasion. US President-elect Donald Trump has said he can understand the Russians' feelings about Joe Biden allegedly breaking a deal to deny Ukraine NATO membership, reports European Pravda. At a press conference at Mar-a-Lago on 7th of January, the incoming US president once again blamed the Biden administration for the start of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Discussing the causes of the war, Trump stated that the prospect of Ukraine joining NATO had been a major issue for Russia for many years. Quote, "Somewhere along the line, Biden said, no, they, the Ukrainians, should be able to join NATO. Well, then Russia has somebody right on their doorstep, but I can understand their feelings about that," unquote. Asked by a journalist to clarify exactly when the US had opposed Ukraine's NATO membership, the president-elect replied, quote, "My view, it was always understood," unquote. Trump has previously argued that Biden should not have promised Ukraine NATO membership, claiming this was a reason for Russia starting a full-scale invasion. Earlier, Trump insisted that he would not abandon Ukraine in his efforts to resolve the Russia-Ukraine war. Thank you for listening to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast. We're a commercial initiative of just two people, and we need your help to grow. Share information about the podcast, rate us in the app, subscribe to our Patreon. With your support, we are getting better. We call on you to demand from governments of your countries to impose the toughest sanctions possible on Russia and its citizens to stop their invasion of Ukraine.